Yo, what's up, sports bettors? We cashed this 5 pick flex play yesterday, so I say this all the time. I mean, all of the plays you're going to see me giving out on prize picks are going to be 5 pick entries or 6 pick entries. And we've gone through the math a ton of times. 5 and 6 pick entries are mathematically optimal. You cannot expect to make money on prize picks if you are playing 2 pick power plays. You are getting such worse odds, right? So my name's Alex, if you're not aware. Again, I've been using PrizePicks for probably a little less than a year now. So here's my 2022, 2023 results. Just on Pickett Sports, a verified bet tracker. So you can see the ROI is about, 10 to 15%. You'll see these numbers fluctuate between. But regardless, let's go ahead and let's get into some of my plays for today. So the first tool I like to start out on is either the EV tool or the screen. These are the tools I use the most. So there's a fair amount of tennis today. So I took a look at tennis, and the first line discrepancy I spotted was right here. So Peyton Stearns versus Rebecca Mazarova. So what you're going to notice is PrizePicks has the line at 22 total games, right? 22. Now BetRivers has the line at 21.5, lower. Pinnacle has the line at 21.5. BWin, BetMGM, every data point has the line at 21.5. Guess what? There's more, right? Look at all these books. Just look at all the data in the market. They all have the under 21.5 games favored, right? BetMGM has the under at minus 130. They have the over at minus 110. So all of these sports books are juiced, or they have the under 21.5 games favored, and we're getting under 22, right? So we're getting under 22. And most books have the line at 21.5 with the under favored. So just following the data, right? There are dozens of sports books telling you where the line should be set. Don't overcomplicate this stuff, right? Like a lot of people look through my prize picks and they'll be like, we can just get into one of the picks for today. So you can see here I have a 6 pick entry, $400 to win 10,000. Is a lot of people will be like, wow, you're such a, degenerate. $400 to win 10,000. It's just like, no, I understand prize picks inside and out. I understand their platform, I understand how their payouts work, I understand what's optimal, and I understand how to find an edge. And I know not every day is going to be a winner on prize picks. You're going to see ups and downs, always, right? I'm not claiming I win every day, but I know I have an edge over prize picks and I can easily beat them. So my goal is quite simple, get as much volume as I can down in a day. So what I found next is pretty cool here. So what you're going to see is Tyus Jones, right? His line is 7.5 on prize picks, 8 on Underdog, 8.5 on FanDuel, and then it's 7.5 with the over heavily favored on the rest of the sports books. So hey, take a look. We're gonna see this play on. This is the tool I probably use most on OddsJam. It's called the positive expected value betting tool, and a lot of people will be like, expected value. I mean, this is literally something you probably learned in middle school math, and it may have been a while ago, and most of us probably weren't paying attention at the time. But what expected value means is just like, it's finding plays with an edge, right? Are these plays guaranteed to win? No, of course not, right? It's just plays with a mathematical edge where the sports bettor has the advantage, right? Usually because of the vig or the juice, sports books have the advantage. But because every book sets lines independently, right, what OddsJam is doing kind of on a daily basis is it's literally just updating millions of odds every second kind of across sports books, right? So MLB lines, college basketball, NHL, right? All this stuff is just kind of updating, and OddsJam is putting, because again, this is very important to go through, is in a 2 pick power play, you're getting horrible odds, minus 137, which is why you won't see me recommend or giving out 2 pick power plays. Unless there's like a promo specific to 2 pick power plays, I'm not going to be betting them. And then 5 pick flexes, you're getting much better odds at minus 119. And I have a bunch of videos breaking down the math. I mean, here's a spreadsheet. I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video breaking down the math. So you can't be playing, right? You're literally getting double the juice on PrizePicks if you're playing 2 pick power plays versus 5 or 6 flex. Minus 137 versus minus 119, that's a massive difference. So we can see here, Jones over 7.5 assists. All of the sports books have his over heavily favored, right? But why would I play this in a 2 pick power play? First of all, I can get it in a 5 flex at minus 119, but I can also get this minus 125 odds on BetUS, right? Every sports book wants to set lines independently, so we treat every bookmaker as kind of an independent data point of where the line should be set. And it's pretty clear there's a ton of value on Jones over 7.5 assists at minus 150. We're getting minus 119 on PrizePicks, right? The way I like to think about it is it's like, okay, imagine there were 100 different prices for Bitcoin, right? PointsBet is telling you, yo, this, this PointsBet's an exchange. They're like, yo, Bitcoin's worth 140 bucks. FanDuel's like, no, it's 150. Caesars is like, no, it's more, 151. DraftKings 145. Pinnacle and BetOnline are very sharp sports books, so we put a little more weight into their odds. You have all these data points, and it becomes pretty clear that PrizePicks is asleep at the wheel at minus 119, and this is a play we want to be on, right? Then we have a tennis play, right? Here, all sportsbooks have the under heavily juiced. So a lot of people will be like, oh, this is so confusing. You're betting on tennis. You're betting on the NBA. It's like, I'm betting where there's value. I don't wake up in a day and say, oh, I want to bet on LeBron James. I wake up and I say, okay, I'm going to hunt through the market. I'm going to look for value. I'm going to look for an edge. And I know I have that edge. So then it's just a matter of getting down a ton of volume. So here I say this all the time too. I mean, you can filter OddsJam to really see whatever sportsbooks you want. So right now I don't have most of them selected. But obviously the more books you have, the more opportunity, right? This play on Miro, it's not on PrizePicks, right? If you don't have PrizePicks, you can't get this play, right? It's only profitable on NHA or Bovada, the under, due to a big discrepancy in odds. But it looks like Bovada moved. PJ Washington, under 5.5 rebounds. Drew Holiday, under 4.5. So those are my first plays, right? One, literally just following the data. A lot of people would be like, do you do anything else? It's like, no. Again, I know I have an edge. I know it's a volume game, right? I know I'm earning a 12% ROI on PrizePicks, so I'm trying to get down as many bets as possible on a daily basis and get down as much money as I can because, again, I know I have an edge long-term over PrizePicks. It's not that complicated. So the final play I have is from the Arbitrage Tool. So if you're not familiar with arbitrage, I really recommend, there's like a little info button watching this video. Arbitrage is when sportsbooks have such big discrepancies. This is actually how I made my first $40,000 sports betting. First 40 grand was from arbitrage betting. It's when sportsbooks have such different odds from one another, like you can see right here, right? Or we can actually just refresh this here in a sec, but we'll go through this example. It's when sportsbooks have such different odds from each other that you can bet equal and opposite outcomes and make a risk-free profit, right? So technically you can't on PrizePicks, right? PrizePicks, you have to include at least 2 picks in your entry. So technically you can't hedge it and make a risk-free profit with DraftKings. But on most sports books, like here, you could bet the over 8.5 on FanDuel, right? And you could bet the under 8.5 on Pinnacle and make a risk-free profit. So if you're in Ontario, you could do that. If you have Bookmaker, Bookmaker, you can use that everywhere in the U.S., I think, except maybe a couple states like New Jersey, right? If you bet this, risk-free profit, right? So arbitrage bettors will get a ton of sports books, and they're essentially day trading books taking advantage of inefficiencies to make risk-free profits. Like here, you can see first half total points in Pittsburgh Duke, you can make a risk-free 1%. And a lot of people will be like, yo, 1%'s not that much. That's 30% risk-free returns a month. This is risk-free. You earn 1% a day, 30% a month. So this is what got me so excited about sports betting. Daily compounding. If I can earn 1% edge a day, risk-free in arbitrage betting, and I start arbitrage betting with $5,000 every day, that's going to be $8,000 after 1 month if it's just 1% returns, right? 30% returns. Or sorry, it's going to be $6,500. What am I saying? And then once I have $6,500, if I can arbitrage bet again, I'm going to make another risk-free 30%. Right? So it's just a hustle game. Most sports bettors are very lazy, right? Everyone wants the quick win. And that's not what this video is about, sadly. But a lot of people will be like, okay, how does your ROI get to 10% on PrizePicks, right? It's like, okay, well, we're playing 5 and 6 flexes. So let's say you play a 5 flex. Each of your plays has a 2% edge. The total edge of your slip is 10%. 2%, 5 picks, it's going to be roughly 10% if you work out the math. So this play on Draymond, right, the market is crossed, right? This is a market inefficiency. Arbitrage is a market inefficiency, right? When I was a quantitative trader, you talk about arbitrage, risk-free money. It's not supposed to exist in markets. It's no different here, right? Either this is a good play on PrizePicks or this is a good play on DraftKings. You can't have arbitrage, risk-free money, crossed markets exist if neither play is profitable. If you can bet on both plays, right? Lightning -1.5 and Knights +1.5. If you can bet on both and make risk-free money, one of these plays has to be profitable. Should be pretty intuitive, but for some people it's not. So if we refresh this again, it's like, okay, here's another arbitrage opportunity. You can see massive discrepancies in where Caesars points better setting the line. You could bet both of these, make a risk-free profit, and be on your way, right? It's not, this is no BS, $1 to $1 million parlay. This is risk-free money on a daily basis of 2%, whatever, right? So you can sort by percent. Wow, look at this. Mississippi State, Florida money line, 2% arbitrage bet. You hit 2% arbitrage bets on a daily basis, your bankroll goes up 60% a month. Risk-free. You just can't be lazy enough to get the bets in. So anyways, here's the plays I went with. Let me know any questions. I'll leave my email in the description. Tyus Jones, more than 7.5 assists. Mackenzie McDonald, under 22.5 games. PJ Washington, under 5.5 rebounds. Draymond, over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. Rebecca Mazarova, under 22 games. So Arbitrage Tool, 4 plays from the EV tool, and then we also have this play, which we found on the Odds Jam screen. It's called the screen. And then we have another 5 plays. So this play, I just, 5 and 6 flex are so similar in the odds. So I have 1, and then I have 2 with Mazarova. So hopefully this was helpful. Let's make money.